call me bad company. I can't deny bad company till the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Wildlife Commando. Today we're going to go over our trip of last week to Bullard Creek Wildlife Management Area, the second time we've been out there. We're also going to talk about the contest that we had last night. First thing we're going to talk about, it is definitely getting a lot chillier. The rut is in full swing down in South Georgia. It's still a little slow up here in North Georgia, but down south, man, them bucks, they're hot on those does. We had some great opportunities to film some doe when we were out there, but unfortunately somebody, this guy, left the battery to the video camera sitting on the dashboard back at the camping area. So, you know, the morning that we had a couple of shots, didn't have the battery for the video camera. So, you know, definitely if you're going out there, if you're filming or even just going out there, double check, triple check, make sure you got everything. You know, I made a simple mistake. We had some great opportunities to film, and you know, it didn't happen. I'm gonna go ahead and play some of the footage now from this last week, and show y'all we were out there grunting. We had this spot we picked out, and we weren't seeing any deer. Had a couple of bleeds, nothing. We didn't see any deer. We didn't hear any deer. Second day, we go out there in the morning. Nick sees one small doe, but she wouldn't come out from the really thick cover. He was sitting at full draw for a couple minutes. Doe never came out. She just dipped back into the thick cover and went around and went to come out farther down the path, but instead someone with an airboat decided to rev their engine, and she just booked it and was gone. Hey everybody, we're out here day two, end of day two, at Bullard Creek Wildlife Management Area again. We had some better luck today, not the kind of luck that we want, but this morning we saw a decent sized doe, and this evening, probably right around the time that it got way too dark to be able to shoot, we had another doe walk through within range. I'm going to go ahead and let Nick talk about the one he saw this morning.
Basically about 10 o'clock in the morning, I was sitting outside of some thick scrub brush, and came walking in within 15 yards, but I couldn't get it to come outside the brush. Probably a good thing, even though it was a little small. The lack of seeing deer out here, you know, it probably would have got taken, but at least it was a start for walking into an area not really knowing it, not seeing a whole lot of sign on top of that, to be able to come across some deer. You know, every day we're out here, it's getting better.
Definitely. Today actually we talked to some of the locals, which is a great tool if you're going somewhere, if you're hunting WMA, if you're hunting public land, or even if you're hunting a hunting club in an area. Talk to the locals, get the information from them, because all it took was 5 minutes outside of Walmart talking to a couple guys, and they put us right on target this evening. We 10 feet into the brush, we're seeing some crazy hog sign. You know, the hogs out here, they're just tearing these trees up. And then Nick even found two really fresh scrapes. They were even still wet. Deer dropping everywhere. You know, just all the sign that you want to see, especially after a couple of frustrating days.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, life's much easier when you can walk into the woods and you see scrapes, rubs. You know, basically a little highway that they're running on a consistent basis. After that, if you can find that, it's just tracking them to find out if they're using it in the morning middle of the night, you need to move down trail farther, or you know, if you're using it in the afternoon. So we did find a lot of sign this afternoon, and we're gonna hunt it in the morning, and hopefully come out with a lot better outcome.
Definitely, definitely. Every time we come down here, you know, it's little victories. You know, you don't have to go out to the WMA that you've never hunted on the first day and walk out with a 10-point buck. Anybody that can, you know, my hat to them, but you know, that's just not how it works most of the time. You got to learn the area. You got to discover, figure out what's going on, where the deer are, why they aren't in these areas but they're in these areas, you know. Like today, you know, we noticed that for the first time we've ever seen it, you got deer and hogs inhabiting the same space. So it's definitely something unique, something interesting.
Another thing that we're doing too, the newer area that we hunted today, it just so happens it backs up against a hunting club. Well, the hunting club, you know, obviously plots all their land, feeding these deer year round. So we're probably about a mile from it, you know, a good distance away, but still the deer are in the area. That's going to benefit us. Hopefully we find something out there with a nice rack or decent sized does. But if you know it's an area that has food plots on it, by all means, you don't have to do anything illegal. You don't have to go on the property, but you sure can hunt next to it. And that's what we plan on doing in the morning.
Hey everybody, it was the final day out here at Bullard Creek Wildlife Management Area. Much more successful morning than the mornings we've been having out here. The deer were there, a couple of trees got in the way, you know, not clear shots. Definitely a learning curve, you know, walking into somewhere that you've never hunted before. And even though we've been at this WMA before, we have never gone back, we've never hunted that area. Also, you know, we would have had some great footage had I not forgotten the battery to the video camera. So, you know, bear with us on that. But, you know, Nick had a clear shot and took
40-yard clear shot.
yeah,
in the
40 yards.
woods.
Nick had a 40-yard clear shot in the woods on this, you know, beautiful doe. And, you know, just there was a tree right where the doe was. And
Sapling.
it was probably wasn't even a tree, it was a sapling. About an inch around. And Nick's arrow that busted right through it. That's an Easton Axis arrow with the Grim Reaper broadheads. It went all the way through to the fletchings, right?
All the way through the fletchings. The deer was standing just on the other side of it, so I'm pretty confident that if I would have been an inch to the left or right, half inch to the left or right now we'd be out gutting the deer. But as it have it, you know, instead we're sitting here talking about it, and I got a busted arrow shaft and tore up the whole all my blades in my broadhead, bent them all straight back. but it was pretty neat to see how much kinetic energy that white bow has at 40 yards, um, and it still put it right through a tree all the way up to the fletching.
Yeah, it's a Hoyt Alpha Burner. Fast bow. You can hear that arrow zip through the air. I was sitting, not too far from Nick, and I'm watching that deer. I'm about to draw back on it too, and you just hear that arrow zip through the air and a loud smack. I thought Nick put it through the deer and it hit the tree. Sitting there, fingers crossed the entire time. Nick goes up to check it. That tree was in front of the deer. It's just one of those things that happens. But the deer are definitely here. We saw a beautiful buck out there this morning. We've seen a couple doe out there. There's hog sign everywhere. Just it's a much better area than what we've been hunting out here before. So this is definitely, this is what it takes. It takes going back to that same WMA, 1, 2, 3 times maybe, and figuring out, talking to the locals, just using every resource that you have, using maps, whatever it takes to, try and narrow down where those animals are going to be.
And definitely want to stress to the locals, local. Boy, I tell you what, like we were saying in episode before this, or taping before this, we went up to Walmart to go pick up a couple things, and we were still in our hunting clothes, and saw a couple other guys. They stopped us, asked us what we were seeing, if we seen anything, they were telling us where the hogs were at, they were telling us where the deer were at, so they put us onto that spot, in the vicinity anyways. They weren't going to give up their stands, but man, what a difference. We probably moved a total of about 2 miles from where we were hunting, and we went from seeing one deer in 3 days to, this morning they were coming in about 1 or 2 every hour, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, definitely. And
pick the right tree.
yeah, exactly. Picking a tree, checking for shooting lanes before you get into the tree. This is something that everybody, beginner, advanced, people make mistakes. You got to learn on the fly, especially 6:30 at night in the morning. The sun ain't up yet. We're trying to find the right tree to see. We can't see every branch and everything like that. And you never know where the deer are going to come from. You might have a complete blazed trail, but then that 10 point might come from the left. 2 or 3 does might come from an odd angle at the right, and just use those trees the entire time. Like the angle that they took from going down the hill all the way back into the scrub brush, it was just a complete different than the trail we were sitting on. So and always be flexible and be ready to move. Don't be stuck to just well, this tree, I want to sit in this tree because I have a good feeling about this tree. If you don't see the deer there, if they're there but you don't have a clear shot, move. Don't be afraid. It come 11, 12 o'clock, climb down, shift over to a different tree and go right back up. It's not, they're bedded down, and if you have a deer come to that area at that time, yeah, you might spook it, but it's better to spook a deer moving to a tree that you'll have good shooting lanes from than to sit in a tree and watch deer after deer after deer go by and not have a shot.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, well that's it for this trip out to Bullard Creek Wildlife Management Area. We're definitely gonna be back out here.
That's it for him. I'm going back out.
Yeah, I gotta head back into town. I have a conference call tonight, but Nick's gonna be out here hunting this evening, and hopefully we'll be getting a phone call from him, letting us know that he smoked one of them does. But we'll definitely be back out here again. We can hunt the archery only area until January 15th. It's just a great place. The locals are nice. The only thing is, if you're coming out here, if you have AT&T, you're not gonna have cell phone service. If you want cell phone service, do what Nick did. Nick went, he got a little cheap Verizon straight talk phone, paid $30 for the 1,000 minutes, 1,000 text messages, and he's had full service the entire time while I'm sitting here, holding my phone around trying to figure out where I can stand to get one bar.
Yeah, that's definitely key. think from what I understand from the locals out here, the only thing that's working cell phone wise is Verizon. So if you come out here, don't expect to get any kind of coverage. That being said, don't forget to turn your phone off, because I was up in a tree with my AT&T phone and it started ringing. About the only stinking place in the woods I think that I got one bar, and of course it was, you know, prime time, you know, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and also my phone goes off. So, you know, it's just a good time out here. Nice and peaceful. We did find out also that we knew they had bathrooms out here, indoor bathroom, plumbing, that even if you're going to rough it, come out in tent, that you're able to use. Today we found out that they also have showers for you to use, so you know it's not as rough as it might seem.
So that's it for the footage of this last trip to Bullard Creek Wildlife Management Area. We had a great time, talked to some of the locals. Man, that made such a difference. Just taking 5 minutes, talked to a couple guys outside of Walmart. They put us on some hogs. They put us, they told us right where the deer were, and we went from seeing maybe 2 deer at 80 yards to, we had does coming through, but whether there was a tree in the way or, Nick took a great shot, that 40-yard shot. It was an amazing shot. Right on target. It just happened, that you can't see through the peep sight all that well, and there's just a little sapling, probably about that big around, that caught his arrow and saved that doe. We saw a really nice 8-point buck out there with a doe in tow, but they just went. We were sitting on the right side, they went up to the left side. When you're bow hunting, you got to deal with the cards that you're dealt with. But if we'd had a rifle out there, man, we would have had multiple deer down. But that's the challenges of bow hunting, and that's one of the reasons why Nick and I like bow hunting so much. You put a rifle in our hands, because either being in the military, because both of us, are talented shooters naturally and have had the training. You can put a deer out there 300 meters, and we're gonna put it down. So to us, rifle hunting just doesn't have the same exhilarating adrenaline rush as bow hunting, and so that's why Nick and I both prefer to bow hunt, but we will never pass up an opportunity to hunt, whether it's hunting with bows, hunting with rifles, throwing spears, whatever it is. We want to hunt, and just get out there, spend time in the woods, chasing animals. It's just a great way for us to be able to get out and experience the outdoors. And that's what we want to do with this show, is just share our experiences outdoors. We're not always going to have 2, 3 deer down. We might not even get 1 deer, but we're getting closer, we're refining, we're stepping out into areas that we've never hunted before, and narrowing down from 15,000 acres to within the 1 acre that we know we see deer in and are going to get a deer. I want to say congratulations to all you contest winners out there. You will be receiving this shirt right here in the mail, and within about 1 to 2 weeks, and with or without your name on it, depending on whether or not you want your name to be on it. And just keep entering the contests. We're looking to start one up again here in a little bit. Also, don't forget to enter our trophy contest. We're going to vote on the top 5 photos that are submitted to us. And the top 3 get a Wildlife Commando t-shirt just like this one here, but on the back it's going to have your trophy photo on it. So that's a great way to show off your prize buck. If you got a largemouth bass, whatever it is, if you got some great outdoor wildlife photography footage, whatever it is, feel free to send it on in to us at wildlifecommando@yahoo.com, or go ahead and send it to our Facebook page. Well, that's it for this episode of Wildlife Commando. I appreciate you for watching and hope you enjoyed the show. This time next week, we're going to be out in the woods, slinging arrows, hopefully bringing some deer down, and definitely have some great footage to show y'all, and most of all, meat in the freezer. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. Hunt hard, hunt safe.